This week, the Game Awards is happening, and look, we're going to be live streaming the event like we do every week. It's going to end up being a 4 to 5 hour live stream, just like it is all the time. We go live before their pre-show begins, which to me is actually part of the real show. We're going to have a betting special between me, Eric, and Thunderstash Gaming, so you're going to tune into that. That's right. You might get a double dose of Thunderstash on the podcast on Wednesday, and again on our live stream on Thursday. But setting that aside, what I actually want to focus in on is this idea of this event. Now, what am I referring to? Well, the event I'm obviously referring to is the Game Awards, and Nintendo revealing stuff at the Game Awards or showing things at the Game Awards. What could happen? What may happen? What will happen? Now, maybe make some predictions here, because Nintendo is going to have a presence at the Game Awards. And whether or not you think it's going to be a big presence or a little one, Nintendo does traditionally have something to show at the event. And there's reasons to be excited, even beyond what Nintendo is showing, and we'll talk about that as well. So today we're going to be getting into all of that. All you need to do, if you want to stay up to date on all things Nintendo, is subscribe right here at Nintendo Prime. And let's just dive in. So first up, the first reason to believe there's hype is Nintendo's up for some awards. Echoes of Wisdom, Mario Party, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is up for most anticipated. Probably won't beat Grand Theft Auto 6, of course, just due to popularity. But it is probably going to be one of the top-rated games coming out next year. So there is that consideration as well. So with Nintendo up for different awards, obviously Doug Bowser is going to be present to, accept awards. Sometimes developers are there. But what I really want to focus in on is that Doug Bowser responded to a tweet from Jeff Keighley. Now, you're seeing it on screen right now. That response wasn't anything like massively crazy, but it is Doug Bowser doing something he doesn't do. If you go back and you look at Doug Bowser's history with the Game Awards, he traditionally isn't like replying to Jeff Keighley or replying to Game Awards tweets and saying anything. He doesn't really promote that the Game Awards is happening, but for some reason this year he is doing that. So does that mean it's because Nintendo has something to show? I don't know, but there is that consideration. Now, another thing to drive some hype home is Andy Robinson from Video Game Chronicle. He throw out there that he knows that this is going to be a really big show, and he's not guessing, meaning he knows about a bunch of stuff being announced and shown at the Game Awards, and he's pretty excited about that. Now, obviously, the Game Awards, we all know, is an award show, but come on, as gamers, some of you care about the awards. I know I do, but a lot of people are watching for the game reveals and the trailers and all that. So obviously when Andy Robinson is saying that's not a guess, he's not talking about the awards because that's something we already know about. He's talking about the trailers, the reveals, whatever's going to be there. So could some of that be Nintendo, considering that we know Andy Robinson has sources at Nintendo? Absolutely. Now, he's not going to reveal what that stuff is, but it's pretty exciting to think about. So then we go to, we know Nintendo has a new system on the horizon, right? So let's start there. Could Nintendo actually tease, even full-on reveal, the Nintendo Switch 2 at the Game Awards? Now, yes. The answer is yes, they could. But should we go into it with that expectation? I'm going to say we should not expect it to be at the Game Awards, but I'm not willing to rule it out. I'm still willing to give it, let's say, a 10% chance of happening. Very low. You can argue that might even be too high, maybe a 1% chance. But here's the thing. Nintendo is going to be there. They are up for some awards. They're going to be pretty dominant next year. I think that it is at least possible that Nintendo has considered extra promotion for Switch 2 at this event. Again, I don't think it's going to happen, but I can't rule it out entirely. So we'll throw that out there. By the way, we're going to circle back to Switch 2 in a moment, because even if Switch 2 isn't there, doesn't mean there won't be Switch 2 news at the event. We'll circle back to that in a bit. That's going to be the last point we go over. Now, the other more obvious thing is that they could promote Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And you might go, would they really do it? Well, Metroid is the kind of game that could see promotion here for two reasons. One is that, Nintendo's been trying to get Metroid to appeal to a wider audience for a long time, and they haven't been able to do it. This is a prime opportunity, all puns intended, to put their best foot forward with Metroid in front of a massive fan base that would actually like the kind of game that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is. A first-person shooter-style game, the puzzles, the boss fights. This is really the kind of audience that's perfect to put Metroid Prime 4 Beyond in front of and maybe drive consumer interest for people that might not have been considering this game otherwise, because they don't closely follow Nintendo. So it actually could be a perfect opportunity to advertise that game. We already have it announced. We already have a trailer. It's coming next year. Dropping another trailer this week would be just beautiful. I think this is maybe the maximum hopium that people have for realistic expectations is a Metroid Prime 4 Beyond trailer. I don't know if Nintendo's going to do it. I kind of think it's a coin flip on if they decide to do it or not, but it would be pretty awesome if they did. Now, what else could be here? Well, Nintendo could announce some sort of remake or remaster. We've had these Fire Emblem ones rumored for a long time. Nintendo has in the past promoted things like Fire Emblem Engage at the Game Awards. Yeah, not too long ago. See, Nintendo promotes things at the Game Awards. So it's possible that they could do like a reveal of a Fire Emblem remake or something at this event as well. They could have something like that ends up being like the February game. They could also, if they do the Metroid Prime 4 Beyond stuff, going back to that for a brief moment, they could shadow drop 2 and 3 as well. That would be a huge get for the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley to have those games shadow dropped. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think there's at least a chance Metroid Prime 4 is there. Or like a remake or remaster from Nintendo. I think there's a pretty high chance that one of those things happen. Now, this is where we circle back to the Switch 2. The Switch 2 probably won't be at the Game Awards, but there could be news. This is going to get a little speculative. This is all speculative, let's be honest. We know about some games for Switch 2. One of those games we know about is Yooka Replayly, right? We know that game because they put the Nintendo logo with the eyeballs, and they pretty much all but admitted in their press release that they are bringing the game to Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I don't know if they have dev kits or not. I've had some indie sources behind the scenes contact me privately and sort of inform me that most indie studios do not have dev kits. Some did get to go to Nintendo and preview the system, but they haven't been allowed to purchase the dev kits yet, and they may not be allowed till after it's revealed. That could make sense. Nintendo's keeping a lid on things, but that does mean that like if they went to Nintendo headquarters, went hands-on, they already know they're committing the game to Switch 2. That is entirely possible. Or it's also possible that maybe some select indie devs have, dev kits. Who knows? But what I will point out is they were willing to do that as someone without a dev kit. Or maybe they do have one, right? I guess I don't know for sure. We could see a number of major AAA third-party game trailers for brand new games next year and in 2026 that have the Nintendo logo and nothing else. That would essentially be Switch 2 news. If it's not a Nintendo Switch logo, but you're seeing a PlayStation 5, an Xbox Series, a PC, and then the Nintendo logo, I think we all know what that means, right? So we could end up getting Switch 2 news without Switch 2 even being there. Catch my drift? So I bring this all up because it's very clear that a lot of people really want to talk about Switch 2. Since the Yooka Replayly stuff and mentioning Nintendo, there was another indie dev that pretty much directly said that their game's coming to Switch 2. But beyond that, we now have like accessory makers. Even Satisfy seems to be advertising. Not seems to be. They directly are advertising that they are making a grip for Nintendo Switch 2. And if you don't believe me because of this image here, and you want to argue, oh, it's just a new next generation of their grip for the current Switch or whatever, then explain this promotional image right here. I know it's hard to make it out because it's blurred, intentionally so, but if you zoom in to the bottom there, there's the 2 buttons on that right Joy-Con towards the bottom, which correspond with what we know are a new button on Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, this is a Nintendo Switch 2 grip you can pre-order right now. So we have a lot of accessory makers doing out there. We have ones that are releasing screen protectors and other accessories for Nintendo Switch 2 before Nintendo's even announced it. Now, maybe this is all happening. If you want to make the argument Switch 2 is at the Game Awards, you can argue this is all happening because Switch 2 is about to be revealed. Entirely possible. The Game Awards is within this fiscal year, and Furukawa never ruled out calendar 2024. That being said, I think this is more of an indicator that people really want to talk about Switch 2. And one way you could do it without breaking NDA is just putting a Nintendo logo in your trailer. So, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I'm pretty excited, no matter what, for the Game Awards. Not just because Nintendo might take home stuff, and not just because I actually enjoy all of gaming. I'm looking forward to a bunch of games that are going to be revealed there. Hell, I have Indiana Jones preloaded on my Xbox Series X right now with the graphical update patch. We're going to be able to play that tomorrow. So, I'm really excited about that. But what I want to focus in on here is Nintendo, and I think they're going to have something to show us at the Game Awards 2024, which, by the way, Really cool Game Awards, 10th anniversary. And hey, Snoop Dogg's debuting a new song there. You guys know how I feel about Snoop, right? Right? You guys know. You guys know.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Nathaniel Rovajets from Nintendo Prime, and I'll catch you all in the next video.